Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. Today we're going to be continuing our coverage of this storm that'll be affecting the Great Lakes region with some snowfall. But right now we gotta start thinking about the impacts that's going to have in this western portion of the storm and how that might get named and then sets up for the rest of the storm. So if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. So let's get right on into it. We do have winter weather advisories in New Mexico as part of the system. We also have special weather statements that are probably involved in the storm system, as well as the snowfall is going to be tracking over this general area. So something that we definitely have to look out for in the next few days. In fact, probably just the next couple days. But then we get into the main event. The main event is going to be the snow in the Great Lakes region, and this might stick around for a little bit. The snow totals might go a little bit higher than if it just rolled right through here because of that lingering effect. It's kind of like when you get lake effect snow, it keeps rolling onto the coast over and over again, and you get piles of snow, or very high, like probably several years ago in Buffalo, where we had like 6 feet of snow because of the lake effect snow bands that just kept piling on top of each other and continuing to affect the same areas. That's kind of the same thing that we're going to get here, but this time it's a little bit on a more smaller scale because we're not going to get like 6 feet of snow in one area. We're probably going to get maybe half foot to a foot. We're still up in the air between the models. But let's actually move on to the radar. We do have a little bit of snow in New Mexico as of right now, but we also have some rainfall extending from North Carolina into Mexico. So we gotta watch the system start to develop here, how this low pressure forms, where it forms, and how that affects the rest of the system. And we'll get more into that in the models. But first, we're gonna go to the satellites. You can see just overall flow here. Most of the cloud cover is in the eastern part of that system, so that's about it. Alright, let's move on to the winter weather outlooks. So we're gonna start here. You can see that in the next 6 hours from when I'm filming this, next hour or so, and the past 5 hours when this releases, there's a pretty good chance of some areas here in New Mexico picking up an inch. If we move on to 6 UTC, we get less of the chance, and then 12 UTC even less. So that's when we start to watch here in the Great Lakes. Now, if we continue to move on, this is Monday, right? We start to see something here in Indiana, and by the very end here, this is Monday to Tuesday, we start to see those higher chances of actual snowfall in the Great Lakes region, and this could be persisting over a while. Let's actually check 6 inches. I don't think there will be. Yeah. But 2 inches is definitely not out of the range here. Probably a decent chance, 40 to 50% in areas of Indiana and Ohio. So we definitely have to watch this storm system very closely over the next few days, because early into next week this will be impacting everyone's commute in the Great Lakes region. There's also going to be some rain on the East Coast that'll be affecting your commute as well. So let's move on to the NAM 3-kilometer model, and we'll talk more about that. So right now you have our current setup, then you get that snowfall kind of dissipating there. Thunderstorms really ramp up in Texas, and then you get this low pressure that forms. Okay, it makes landfall in Louisiana there, starts to move up. We start to see this more nor'easter feel here, but this is going to be very interior. Alright, so now at the very end of the NAM 3-kilometer model, we can start to see those snow colors, the blues there, indicating that we could see some heavier snow at this point in some areas, depending on where those bands set up and where we have that cold air. Now, the 12-kilometer model, again, it has it sticking around, and that's the most important part about this, is that even though you have maybe not as big of a snow event as usual, it will linger, and that makes it more impactful. And then after this, it says the GFS is showing a nor'easters for some very northern parts of the Northeast. We definitely have to watch that as well. I think that we're going to get into a much more active pattern here for some snowfall, especially in the interior Northeast. But we just have to wait and see. Now, I do want to go back to the 12-kilometer model, getting back to topic real quick. So, total positive snow depth change. We're going to go to the very end here. It's staying pretty light. Now, GFS, kind of showing a little bit more. Now, a pretty good area of 3 to 6 inches in the interior Great Lakes region, around Lake Erie and Lake Huron. So, that, I think that the biggest reason that there might be winter storm warnings issued is because this thing's going to get very intense. So if we could actually go back to the NAM 12-kilometer model, and we go here. So when it's snowing, right, we have 995, 993, and those isobars, which show areas of equal pressure, get relatively close. Now, let's actually go to lower dynamics and 10-meter wind. So, now, I'm not saying that there could be blizzard conditions. I think we'll see far from that. I just think that it will be close enough where we could get some blowing snow and then visibility start to go down. At that point, there could be winter storm warnings issued. But if we go back here, let's talk about the rainy side of the storm, because it's definitely going to be very impactful, especially in the Northeast on Monday. Pretty big soaker here, so let's look at the total accumulated precipitation. Yeah, 1/2 inch to 2 inches across the board. Some areas that really see those thunderstorms kind of rack up, you can see over 2 inches of rainfall. But this video has been plenty long enough. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.